My daughter literally said today, I wish I could see Mr. Millett. I just want to hug him.
That wish will be granted now that the school board voted to reinstate the suspended principal. Annapolis High School principal Aaron Millett was placed on leave May 4th. The district telling Action News it was conducting an investigation, but wasn't at liberty to share details.
Dr. Weeks has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
The move sparking outrage amongst students, parents, and teachers.
Why would you put Aaron Millett on leave when his staff and students need him the most? Why did it take 4 days to communicate anything to the staff and community about Aaron Millett's absence?
Fast forward to Wednesday night's board meeting, 4 board members voting to reinstate him, 2 abstaining. The motion carried. But that wasn't all. Another motion put on the table to place Superintendent Dr. Tyrone Weeks on leave. That too carried.
Motion carried.
Board members stating this will give them time to look into 3 Title IX complaints and 1 civil rights complaint against Weeks. It was a heated board meeting with plenty of emotions and interruptions. For students like Molly Hudson, though, a success of the night, the return of a beloved principal.
He demonstrates attributes of not a good, but a great administrator. The constant checkups, the laughs we share with him, the deep care he has for not only us, but our families as well.
So, Keenan, still a lot of question marks surrounding both of these absences. Of course, the principal here at Annapolis now reinstated. As for the superintendent's administrative leave, Title IX pertains to the federal law, which prohibits discrimination based on sex. Exactly what led to those complaints, though, is still unclear, something we're going to be reaching back out to the district to find out and, of course, bring you the very latest as we learn it. We're live this morning in Dearborn Heights. Jen Shantz, 7 Action News.
Yeah, the drama continues there in Dearborn Heights. We know you'll be following it for us, Jen. Thank you.
This morning, we are waiting for police to identify the suspect in 2 seemingly random stabbing attacks, including one that claimed a woman's life as she was stopping to put air in her tires. That terrifying ordeal began right outside the Bell Tire in Roseville yesterday morning. Jennifer Ryan says that her mother, Cheryl, was filling her tire after dropping her husband off for work when a man pulled up and stabbed her multiple times. Jennifer says nothing was taken and this attack appeared to be random.
This is just ruthless. I mean, who does this? Who does this to somebody who is minding their own business?
Police say a man survived another attack by the same suspect at a bus stop in St. Clair Shores. After that second attack, police put out surveillance photos to try to catch the suspect on social media. After 6 hours, the man was arrested in Warren.
Well, the man suspected of kidnapping and killing a Detroit nurse is being held on $1 million bond this morning, but in a separate case. 36-year-old Jameer Miller was arraigned in Garden City on 14 drug and gun charges. The case involves Michigan State Police and an incident in Taylor dating back to February. Miller is also suspected of killing his girlfriend, Patrice Wilson, over the weekend. She's the nurse from DMC. A decision on charges in that case is not expected this week.
Police in Ann Arbor are turning now to the public for help after a bullet ripped through the bedroom of a 5-year-old girl. The child's mom was making up the bed when she found signs of that bullet in her daughter's pillow, and that set off a search for other evidence of damage in the home there on Dundee Drive. They found that hole right there near the window, which has since been fixed.
I was putting the pillowcase on my daughter's pillow. I then noticed the hole in the pillowcase. Then when I took off the pillowcase, I noticed there was a hole in the pillow. That is when I left everything, and the police had arrived, within minutes later.
I mean, that is chilling. Police do not know if somebody intentionally fired a gun or if it was just reckless behavior. This happened last month. Police have exhausted their leads and posted details on Facebook Tuesday, hoping to get some tips from the public.
Well, Detroit landmarks are glowing blue and green this morning in honor of the life of Nick Gilbert and to raise awareness. Detroit City Council and Governor Gretchen Whitmer proclaimed May as NF Awareness Month. Now, NF is an incurable genetic disorder that Nick Gilbert battled throughout his life. Nick is the son of billionaire Dan Gilbert and his wife Jennifer. Nick Gilbert passed away May 6 at the age of 26.
5:08 is the time right now. Problematic pursuit.
Yeah, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle speaking out after what they call a potentially catastrophic chase. What they're saying this morning.
And high pressure and complete control for the moment. That means we'll have lots of sunshine on tap and the warmer air is on the way. I'll let you know when we put this cold air behind us.
Traffic-wise, let's take a live look at M59 at Livernois from one of our 7 first alert traffic cameras. Right now, no major issues out on the roads. You're watching 7 Action News this morning.
Well, the Biden administration is proposing new rules to prevent students from being buried with school debt. The measure targets for-profit colleges and some programs at traditional universities. Under the proposal, the colleges would have to check the debt-to-income ratio of recent graduates. Programs that fail that test would need to warn students they could lose federal money. And programs that fail that same test twice in a 3-year period could be cut off from financial aid. If finalized, the proposal would take effect in July of next year.
Well, a spokesperson for Prince Harry and Meghan say that they were involved in a near catastrophic car chase with paparazzi. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex were in New York for an event honoring Meghan Markle, and a rep for the couple says afterwards they were pursued, accusing paparazzi of running red lights and even driving on the sidewalk. The NYPD says there were no reported crashes, injuries, and no arrests.
I find it hard to believe, but we will find out the exact duration of it. But if it's 10 minutes, a 10-minute chase is extremely dangerous in New York City.
Prince Harry has been outspoken about the security of his family and has pointed to similarities between his wife's treatment and the treatment of his mother, Princess Diana, who died back in 1997 in Paris after being chased by paparazzi.
All right, time now is 5:12. TikTok facing its first statewide ban for all users.
Yeah, this will make TikTok fans listen up. The state that's imposing the new restriction, we're going to tell you which one, and the potential legal challenges ahead. You're watching 7 Action News here on this Thursday morning. Time now is 5:16, and we're looking at news across the nation. Elizabeth Holmes will be going to prison later this month. The founder and former CEO of Theranos has lost her request to delay her sentence. In January, she was found guilty of defrauding investors and sentenced to 11 years behind bars. She then filed an appeal asking to remain free while she appealed her conviction. On Tuesday, the appeals court denied her request. And in a separate ruling on Tuesday, a district judge ordered Holmes and former Theranos COO Ramesh Sunny Balwani to pay $452 million in restitution to investors.
Well, Montana is now the first state to ban TikTok. The social media app has been prohibited for state business since last year, but the new law signed Wednesday forbids TikTok from being offered on mobile app stores to any users in Montana. The Montana lawmakers say this is all about security, calling the app a threat to national security. It's unclear, though, how the ban on TikTok will actually be enforced. A TikTok spokesperson even says the bill's champions admit there's no feasible way to ensure compliance.
17 minutes now past 5 a.m. as we take a peek outside. Oh yeah, the Monroe Street Midway. I love when it's illuminated overnight. The sun's not up yet, but we see the bright, fun colors there from the courts. Get you itching to get outside, though it's a bit cold this morning. And I know a lot of people who wanted to plant flowers over Mother's Day weekend were thinking, you know what? Surely it's not going to get so cold for the back half of May, and here we are.
Here we are. You know, the good news is that looking ahead, it actually forced me to look beyond the 7-day forecast, and temperatures are going to cooperate once we get past this morning. But you're going to need a coat for this morning because numbers are still in the 30s, and it feels like that. When the winds are fairly light, we're okay, but when they pick up a touch, it'll feel even cooler. So therefore, we could have a wind chill value out there as well. So feeling like winter, but sunrise will be at 6:10. That'll help us to get back to that springtime feel This dry air mass has a tendency to warm fairly quickly, so at least that's working in our favor. Sunset would be at 8:51 p.m. And I want you to see the frost advisories in effect for just about everybody, with the exception of Wayne County. That includes the city of Detroit as well as Monroe. Monroe, you're getting some assistance from the lakes, and of course the city of Detroit's going to be just a touch warmer, but some backyards could easily fall into those low 30s, and that's what we're seeing right now, especially in areas like Lapeer, Port Huron at 30, Mount Clemens at 31, Ann Arbor for the moment is holding on to 35, and you're actually pretty warm over in Adrian at 40 degrees. Zooming out here, this is day number 2, where we're still dealing with this cold air mass courtesy of that cold front that came through about 2 days ago. But this stationary boundary right here is just waiting for this area of high pressure to drift east. Once that happens, it'll open the door for us to warm up again, which is expected for tomorrow. So it's a cold start. Numbers in the 30s for the kids at the bus stop at 35, and that's for the city of Detroit.